He's going to have, I predict Trump is going to have some type of collapse within the next 12 months at the current trajectory. I'm not saying he's going to collapse. I'm saying if he doesn't take his foot off the gas pedal, I guarantee you, and I've got stamina, way better than most people. If I had Trump's job at 51 for a month, I would have a nervous breakdown.
Rumors of Trump's failing health have been surrounding him for some time now, and even Trump seems to have his own imminent death on his mind. Before we get into it, I'll just say that I do find this conversation a little bit irritating. Remember the days when the president wasn't entirely geriatric or suffering from some degree of dementia? Remember when that wasn't even a thing that we had to worry about? This feels like such a repeat of the latter Biden years, and this whole presidential term feels like the clock has just been turned backward. So maybe everything is just supposed to feel stale and stagnant and utterly regressive at this point in American history. Well, Alex Jones is ever the conspiracy theorist, but this is definitely one of his least conspiratorial takes. He did caveat all of his concerns regarding Trump's health by asserting first that one, Trump has great genetics, and two, that even a healthy 45-year-old keeping Trump's schedule would be struggling, which is debatable. According to Alex Jones, no one works harder than Donald Trump. But he's not the only one speaking of Trump's maybe impending death, and for the record, I don't love talking about people dying. It feels strange. I'm not hoping that Trump or anyone will die. I would like Trump to go away, however that happens, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he needs to be dead. Anyway, apart from Trump's swollen cankles and the bruises on the back of his hand that are badly covered up with makeup, Trump has been making more headlines that I'm sure he's happy about for his senior moments. For instance, there was the time when he seemingly forgot the name of the Atlantic Ocean when discussing European interests in the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
They're very good people. They're very good leaders of their countries, and they want to get back to leading their country. You know, they're consumed far more with this than we are because they're right there. You know, we have an ocean that's separating us, right? Thing called an ocean, a big, beautiful ocean. And they don't. You know, they're right there.
Yes, everyone knows that there's an ocean separating the United States and Europe. Children know that. There was also this moment when, in his bid for a Nobel Peace Prize, he could not remember where it was exactly that he made peace.
You know, I saw major wars. I saw wars that have been going on for 31, 35, and 37, and a couple of quicker ones. One that was going to go into a full-blown deal very quickly. You know what the one I'm talking about. It was a big one. But they don't even write about that. No matter what I do.
Trump's direct influence in several conflicts around the world is contested. PolitiFact rates his claim of ending 6 wars as mostly false. And a White House official told the Daily Beast that the 6 wars Trump has ended are the conflicts between Israel and Iran, the DRC and Rwanda, Thailand and Cambodia, India and Pakistan, Armenia and Azerbaijan, and Egypt and Ethiopia. Egypt and Ethiopia have not agreed to any formal peace agreement, and Indian officials have denied that Trump played a role in brokering peace with Pakistan. But Trump clearly wants credit for things that he's done or the things that he believes he's done, and he really wants to add Ukraine and Russia to that list of conflicts that he has allegedly ended. Why? I suppose it's natural for a man of older age and failing health to be thinking of the legacy that he will eventually leave behind, but whatever Trump's dealing with seems to go beyond just reflecting on the life that one has lived. It seems like he's trying to rack up points because even in the face of death, he still thinks that bigger is obviously better. His whole life has been about chasing numbers, more money, more votes, higher ratings, the biggest crowds. Now he's counting the number of lives that he is helping to save, not because helping to save innocent lives is the right thing to do, but because he thinks it'll help him get into heaven.
But, if I can save 7,000 people a week from being killed, I think that's I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I hear I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole. But if I can get to heaven, this will be one of the reasons.
It is still, as it has always been, all about Trump. I don't personally believe in a heaven or hell. I don't know where he's going. Nobody knows what's going to happen after we die. But maybe Trump is taking on, Pascal's wager. It's better to be safe than sorry. But he is trying to rack up all these points with God or whoever before he dies. And if the end result of all of this is that it saves lives, then great. But he's also devastating life for Americans here at home. He's imprisoning and torturing people in his own country. He's activating the military against American citizens. He's cutting funding for healthcare and for environmental efforts and for education and for food stamps. He's still not a good person, and his motives for doing anything good are indicative of that. But going back to that Alex Jones bit, he had spent some time assuring his audience that Trump was a fine genetic specimen and that he just needs to take care of himself. MAGA loves to gaslight people by telling us that Trump is in the best physical form a man of his age and stature could hope to be in. Even Trump plays into it. Remember when he released those weird NFTs with AI generated images of him being like super masculine and doing all these super masculine things that he has never done in his life, or with like super ripped abs that he has never had in his life? Well, MAGA has been losing their minds for a while over California Governor Gavin Newsom's new social media strategy, which is to basically echo everything Trump does and says on social media. And it's kind of shocking how well it's working. The right is upset by Newsom's lack of decorum and professionalism, but if they have a problem when he does it, they should have a much, much, much bigger problem when the president of the United States does it. But I always thought those NFTs were goofy, because if MAGA really believes or wants to believe that Trump is this strong, masculine, superhero-esque man, then why do they need fake imagery to present him as the version of him that they so desperately need to believe in? Didn't those NFTs just make it all the more obvious that Trump was not as he was being depicted in those fake images? Well, now a batch of similar images of Gavin Newsom are floating around, and they're hitting Trump and MAGA where it hurts, because as much as they can try to convince themselves that Trump is a strong man, Newsom actually looks a little bit closer to his more fictionalized version than Trump does of his. Here he is riding a raptor into battle. And here he is shirtless riding a different dinosaur. He's waving pistols in the air. There he is shirtless and riding on the back of a bear, which is California's mascot. He's also logging. He's a lumberjack, and also Superman and the world's best governor. So obviously these are exaggerated images. Gavin Newsom doesn't look like this, but neither does Trump. And Trump's base really, really needs him to. The left is, at the very least, in on the joke, and that is the big difference. All right, that is it for me. If you got anything out of this, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks. Hey, it's Yasmin Khan. Thank you so much for watching. If you're into what we're doing here, please hit that like button. It really, really helps. And if you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to subscribe to Rebel HQ and hit that bell so that you never miss an upload. I've also got a playlist with all of my videos, so feel free to dive in and catch up there. And if you're over like the corporate spin and just want real people-powered news, hit that join button and be part of the movement. We couldn't do it without your support. Seriously, thank you so much. Stay informed, stay engaged, and I will see you in the next one.